Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another morning of the stream. Today is May 17th. Welcome. Come on in. Got a big announcement this morning, but I'll wait a few minutes, wait till everybody gets in, and we'll go over it real quick, and then we'll get right into the market. What's up, Snacks? James, what's up? Good morning. AC, how you doing? The market overall is up a lot this morning. Very surprised. All it needed to do was hold that 400, it looks like. Jimmy, what's up? Good morning. Ken, Broda. Yes, we are always shorting Callum. Callum, what's up, man? How's it going? Mike, welcome. How's everybody doing this morning? Good? Chop Bones, good morning. I'm gonna go shut the door so you can't hear the dogs barking. Justin, Steven, how's it going? All right, you guys, ready for the big announcement? Let's do this. The big announcement is Baby Mullins Momentum #2 is on the way. We just found out like 4 or 5 days ago it's going to be due in like January. We're so excited. Baby 2, let's go. Thanks, guys. Morning, Todd. Who else have I missed? Rustin, Helen, good morning. Gorlimey, good morning. Thank you. Tanner, good morning. Scott, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. We're super excited. It wasn't really planned, but I mean, we're ready. We're ready for #2. Give Noah a little brother, sister. We told him he's excited as an 11-year-old can be when we tell him something, or 11-month-old. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, we're super excited. It's gonna be great. But let me flip over and let's start looking at some stuff here. What have we got going on this morning? Hey, Making Sales, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, Boba, you're right. If the baby gets my wife's side of the family genes, they might actually be able to grow a full beard. So that's their only shot. Because me, my dad, everybody in my side of the family is just this. You're stuck with the goatee. You just make the goatee work, and that's it. Thanks, Ian. Appreciate it. Chop Bones, appreciate it. We're really excited. It's gonna be great. And there's a surprise appearance from the wife in the chat. The only other Mullins you'll probably see. Ticker Junkie, thanks. Appreciate it. Let me type it up here. Big announcement. Oh my gosh. All right, what are we looking at this morning? Wow, I typed this up. There we go. We should be good now. The camera, I did charge. I left the battery on the charger over there until like 5 minutes before the stream, so I hope to God it makes it. Let's look. Let's get into some market stuff. AUVI news. Let's pull it up. There we go. AVI announces inclusion of multi-million-dollar contract offering through non-public schools in the state of Washington. Contract $3.5 billion. So I don't think they're getting the full $3.5 billion, but the headline sounds great. Multi-million-dollar contract offering through non-public schools. Yeah, I mean, sounds good. If this news came out like mid-2020, it would already be at $100, but you know how that goes. Let's pull up the chart. Yeah, it's getting some action, a little bit. I say watch it, keep it up. That headline does sound good. It's got the keywords in it, multi-million-dollar contract. So that's definitely something I'll watch. MITQ top gainer. If the screen's blurry, I noticed when I was pulling it up when I was doing test runs, you can actually change the quality in your YouTube settings. So hit the little gear, little sprocket, whatever you want to call it, and mine was defaulting to like 420p or something. And if you change that to 1080p, it should look way better. All right, yep, MITQ. So I usually look at USO. For some reason, TradeStation does not like the look of CL. It does not want to show me the correct price. But yeah, I mean, oil is just on a straight ramp, almost to 84. Yeah, Kern, I mean, it's following with everything else. I feel like it just, they're all just going straight down into the dumps right now. But yeah, look at that. Former big-ish weed stock, and now it's down to 46 cents. Hey, Berkey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't have the futures data on TradeStation. I just decided not to pay for it. It's extra money, and I just would rather watch USO instead of CL because it's pretty much the same. And I know now that like 83, 84 USO is about the same as 113, 114 crude. And they follow pretty much spot for spot. Just like I watch SPY. I watch SPY instead of ES. And I mean, pretty similar. Like SPY is like 400 as ES is going to be 4,000. But they're very, very similar. Yeah, USO is fine. USO is fine if you're watching oil. But since it is continuing, you're going to want to watch Indo, HUSA, CEI, GBR, all those again today. Indo is hanging around right under 20. Would not be surprised at all to see that test 20 today. HUSA with 4 as well. What else we got? PPSI on the scanner. I have news this morning. Or after hours yesterday. Let's see. Yep, earnings. PPSI increases revenue 72%, triples the gross margin as E-Block and E-Boost EV charging solutions drive growth. So this is the key word, largest sale. So that's good for PPSI overall. It's not up a whole lot, but that's why it is up 20%. Did IMPP offer again? No way. I literally got down here like right before I said I was down here. So, ooh. So that's why they ran it so hard yesterday. I was wondering because Indo wasn't really going crazy. Houston really wasn't going crazy, but IMPP ran hard. And the reason why, offering was coming. Appreciate it, David. Thanks so much. We're excited. Did that fix the blurry issue for you guys on the charts? If you change it to 1080p? Because everything looks fine on my end, at least. It's not going to be perfect, but fitting everything into one little screen. But at 1080, it should be readable, at least. It's not going to look like it's on your computer screen, but it should be really close. Is it good? Okay, sweet. All right, appreciate it. All right, so AUVI, AUVI. It's getting taps on the scanner right now. You can see it hitting right here. Last I knew, that was very thin one. Let me look at the level 2 on this side. I don't have level 2 and time and sales up on the charts here just because it'd be too much to try to take in. It'd be way too much. I mean, it's decently thin. There's a 10K ask, 25K bid, so nothing super thin, but it's because it's $1.25. Oh, Hydra took the top gainer spot really fast. I have news. Yep, that's not it though. Hydra Pharmaceuticals shares positive results from the investigator-sponsored trial in melanoma patients at Amsterdam. Okay, so that would be cancer news, positive interim results. And the results were so good that they stopped the trial early. But it is... Was that phase 1? Phase 2. So that's good. And they should be able to move on to phase 3, so that's probably why it's up so much. And Bo was the resident biotech guy saying it's good, so sounds good to me. But yeah, it's melting straight up on that news. You never know lately with these PRs though from biotechs because they read good but then they go down. So but I mean it's definitely trying. It's chipping at that wall. But yeah, something like this, it's so extended you can almost go to like the 15-second chart and look at it and it's still holding the 9 and the 20. The moves are going to look much more volatile on the 30-second chart, but you can kind of see it's holding a particular level that way. It's having trouble with that 58 wall. There's 65K on it, but it's already traded 345,000 shares. So that's going to tell you that it's a refreshing wall or a hidden wall. Someone's either trying to get out or a short's trying to get in at that particular spot. So what else we got? BRDS. That's looking very wiki. That must have had news after hours yesterday. Had a 8K. Oh, it's earnings. Okay. First quarter revenue increased 48%. Year over year to 38 million, above the guidance range. So that's good earnings for Bird. AUVI trying to push higher now. It kind of flagged here, super wiki, but it's pushing higher. Idra's pushing higher. I feel like things are actually moving decent in pre-market lately. So you get these smoother moves in pre-market, like the 8:15 to 8:25 range, and everybody waits for the 8:30 news, like 8:45 to 9, and then it dies off after 9. I feel like the bird is the word, yes. Advanced settings. Okay, Justin says if you go to advanced settings and select 1080p, it works better. That might be a mobile issue too, rather than desktop. So yeah, Imp's the top loser today. Hydra, I think, let's see, it has resistance going to be 72 over 60. So 60's been resistance before. And over that, the 200 SMA. But yeah, not a whole lot going on this morning. Again, SPY is up, but I feel like every time it gaps up, it fills that right back down. ON. So looks like no volume on that. Couple mid cap, large caps here that are gapping up. Retail sales, 40 minutes. Okay, so 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. Eastern. Retail sales. Hey, Justin, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty slow. Any other tickers we can look at? Yesterday, I mean, the oil were the big ones, but nothing else really had a great run yesterday. Yeah, man, the Fed speaking used to be a non-issue, but now, like, every time they speak, it's the biggest thing in the world. Yeah, Pixie, how hard did it die yesterday? Pretty hard, but 40 range, if it holds, it could push back up. AUVI kind of flagging on the 5-minute. Not perfect, but it is kind of flagging. You might see a leg up to 135 over 135. It's got some range. Let's see on the daily. Okay, so 135, 136 is the 50. That's why we're stuck here. Over that, 150 is Psych-Res, 160, and then 180. That's all dependent on the volume, though. So everything can look great. The volume's bad. You don't get nothing. IDRA's still hanging out right under 60. And I think I mentioned that one. The 200 SMA is at 72. Yeah, so that's definitely a big target. MITQ, yep, that's up. It's revenue growth. $241% revenue growth in third quarter fiscal 2022. So revenue growth 241. So better earnings overall. That's why that's up. It's getting some odd wiki action. Doesn't look terrible though. MITQ's 5-minute looks similar to IDRA's 1-minute. I'm going to step away for just a second. I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I'm back. So what else we got going on here? So AUVI still doing this like almost picture perfect algo-y flag here. If you pull up to 1 minute, it might look a little better. So I could see that testing 135. If it tests 135, it could push up towards 150. That had decent news. It had the news earlier on the contract in Washington State, I think. So there's that. You've got IDRA, MITQ up this morning, BRDS up. And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much all we've got going on this morning. Any large cap charts you guys want to look at? Kind of go over. Like Shop got wrecked yesterday at open. Every time I look at the overall market, I just pull up Apple. I feel like Apple is SPY, is ES. Like that's just the main dog. But I mean, Apple's chart pretty much looks exactly like SPY. So whatever Apple does on the day is what SPY is going to do on the day for the most part. IDR's pushing up to test 60 again, it looks like. Appreciate everybody showing up this morning. I know 8 a.m. can be early, but That's usually when the first news dump comes out. You get the 8 a.m. news dump, 8:30 news dump, and then the 9 a.m. news dump. So coming in right after 8, you get to see the fresh PRs, how everything's setting up, and something that's already gapped overnight, like SPY. SPY's already up. Yeah. Yeah, look at this Apple program candle. That's not good. That's pretty much all the way down. Does SPY have the same program candle? Let's see. Yes. So, and I've learned from the guys on futures and MTA that the program candles like to feel at least like 50%. Am I really? Sweet. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, share this to everybody you can. I'm trying to help people in the mornings. Nothing crazy I'm doing here. Just going over charts. I'll go over whatever you guys want to go over. You can ask questions. I don't care. That's fine. And ooh, AVI just failed the flag. So it went on the flag, on the flag, on the flag, and then failed down to the 50 on the 1 now. So that's not good overall for this. Like, not many people's going to want to buy this now. Unless it's a trap, which I feel like 50% of the moves higher lately are trap moves. So, I mean, this knife's down. Everybody's like, okay, this is dead. And then the shorts are like, okay, it's dead. Let's go ahead and short it back to where it started, 110. I know it's only 120, but then the bulls will trap them. So, bro, do you think that the jobs numbers or the retail sales numbers are gonna really affect today if they're bad? Because I could see it causing it down. Hey, Steven, what's up, man? Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're super excited. TTOO. Do you guys want me to turn the volume up for the desktop? So you will be hearing random scanner hits for the trade ideas, and you would also be hearing like news dings a lot. I think that's kind of distracting, and I can just read the news as it comes out, but it's up to you. Okay, so the 8:30 news drop. Try to read something as I see it, if it looks decent. UAVS earnings. UAVS revenue climb 126%. I mean, that's not a whole lot of money overall for a company, but it's good, 126%. Okay. Profit margin was less. Okay, so here, see what they do. Revenues climb 126%. Looks great, okay? Then you go down, net loss was 7.58 million compared to 2.93 million. So they hide these little things maliciously or not. They'll put the best thing first, or they'll put the best thing in the headline, and then they'll go down and hide. Net loss was huge compared to last quarter or whatever it was. So yeah, that happens a lot. You'll see, like, if they'll release news and they'll just say like sales increased or revenue increased, you need to read more into it before you just slap it. So high retail sales will be bad for inflation. They're trying to lower demand. So high sales would mean they're failing to do so and need to make people poor. Yeah, it makes sense. If people are still buying stuff when they're trying to force people not to buy stuff, then yeah, I guess that's not good. What's up, gaming with Arnav? How's it going? Is that Indiana or India? India. Oh, good morning. Well, good evening in India. Welcome. What time is it in India right now? Like 3, 4 p.m.? Anything else pop out? I'm from the U.S. So it is actually 8:30 a.m. here. 8:32. So nothing that I saw at 8:30 sounded really decent. Nothing's ticking the scanner. No new gainers. But this is how my 5:30 a.m. Vancouver. Yeah, it's early. Sorry, guys. This is what my news edge looks like. So basically, it just pops up. It'll ding, and then it reads it out to me. Hey, what's going on, guys? Appreciate it. Retail sales were lower than forecast, but way above prior months. By the way, not good. Bullard, 50% BP increases at coming meetings, a good base case for now. So they're not saying the 75. Okay, so the sales actually came in at 8:30, didn't they? I thought it was 9. My bad. So yeah, everything's up. Let's look at Agri. Agri had a strong close. Oof. What happened there? I think wheat overall went down, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So this sell-off is a direct correlation to this sell-off. So I would say watch Agri today. If you start seeing wheat push back up towards 1220, 1230, then Agri is really going to move up. But it's going to be just like Indo is USO or CL, then Agri is wheat. Oh my God, my voice just cut out like a 15-year-old teenager. But yeah, Agri, wheat, USO, CL is like Indo. Let's see what we got here. So DBGI, I've traded that one before. I remember. Okay, so did it have a recent offering? Let's look. Every time I'm looking for older news, I just pull it up on Finviz. So yeah, they had an offering recently. I would say that's not good overall. If it was this cheap and didn't recently have an offering, I would say it has a good chance to run just because the pennies have been running lately. But I would say don't look at it at this very moment. Maybe if you watch for a dip, but the fact that they just had the offering, usually it's stuck in place for a little bit. But it did have earnings, I think. I think I saw that. And the offering wasn't that big. I mean, $9 million that cheap, not insanely big. Veru? Veru is possessed. Veru had that news about, I think it was COVID, like weeks ago. Like, it felt like forever ago. And now they just keep getting like price targets and just ran up on the strangest things. But it is holding up. You are correct. It's holding perfectly sideways here. Could it have a massive knife? Absolutely. Could it rip to 15 soon? Absolutely. But it's setting sideways to do either way. It's setting right on the 200 on the 5 right now. But yeah, Veru is holding up. And you could almost just do this. So you got 1450 basic resistance. I like to do my resistance on bodies, not wicks. And then just go from here, the bottom end. And it doesn't have to be perfectly perfect, but right there, you do have an ascending triangle on the 5-minute. Hydra, what happened? Oh, broke over 60. Unless you're just talking about WoW Hydra like for the whole day, then yeah, it's up. It's up on I think FDA News is what it was. Yeah, positive results from Vegas 2 melanoma patients. Anything else we got? Justin, if you're not playing news, and this is really not the best market to play news on, I wouldn't worry about it. I've had it for years. I've had a different news source for years. If you're not slapping headlines, it's really not that important because there's Twitter accounts and other things you can get the news off of very quickly afterwards. This is just the quickest. So, it's up to you, really. U.S. plans to propose EU. U.S. plans to propose EU imposes. I'm guessing that's imposed. Yeah, Walter Bloomberg tweeted U.S. plans to propose EU imposes tariffs on Russian oil. So I'm guessing. I'm not entirely sure what that is trying to say. They're going to do the same tariffs as the EU, potentially. MTA is your news scanner. I mean, yeah, it's posted in there pretty quick. It is definitely posted in there pretty quick. So IDR's down to the 20 on the 1 and VWAP. It tried to break through the 60 level and really couldn't. I hate how my chart does that. MITQ pulling way back. Of course, we saw AUVI pulled way back. Okay, so that what they were trying to say is they're trying to get the EU to impose tariffs after we already did. Okay. So yeah, AUVI looks terrible now. Looks absolutely terrible. It could be a pickup down here for a little bounce, but overall trend, it looks pretty bad. So IDRA definitely top gainer, probably top watch right now. Will it go much higher? I'm not sure. I did not just hear tops on the scanner. Somebody really just sell that. Somebody sold some at 60 cents. Like 100 shares. They got it to hit the scanner though. So, I mean, if that was their objective, they got it to hit the scanner. I miss the shipper days. I mean, shippers got to a point where they suck, but the original, like Dries run and DCIX, those huge, massive squeezes, GLBS, those were fun. Now, there's never any themes. You're lucky to get a one-day run on something, and usually it's a trap run. So it doesn't follow any kind of pattern. It'll fail, trap, squeeze, sucker you in, get shorted. Let's see what else we got. Any other tickers you guys see from days prior that you'd like to pull up? Pull up Redbox yesterday. It's just hanging out at 3. But they had that acquisition news by Chicken Soup or whatever it was. Yeah, IDR's trying to hold. It's trying to hold and push here. I could see it pushing up through. So yeah, up through 61. Beehive Day 63. I could see it going to 65. And like I said, the 200 is at 72. So that would be your first target. Up through 61. Test to 63. And then up to 65. Little selling pressure there, but if this gets bought back up, I think it could go. It's up 70% on the day. Things tend to have this magnet to 90% for some reason. So it could potentially make the move up to 90%. I'd have to pull out the old trusty calculator to figure out where 90% is. $67. So that's right around the 200. Will it make that move though? I don't know. I really don't know in this market. But if it holds a 20 on the 1 again and pushes back up, it's got a good shot. That's the best thing with a shot at this very moment, I think. And this is about the time where things start to get pushed, if they're going to get pushed to a high day. So definitely keep this on watch here, especially if it shreds back through 60, 61, gets up to 63. It's got a shot at pushing this morning. Like yesterday, I don't remember exactly what the ticker was. What was that we were trading? And it was like, I was saying it was blew its low in pre-market, and it really did. Can't remember the ticker at this moment. VTNR. Yeah, I was actually watching VTNR yesterday. That thing's got an insane daily. It is just straight up with oil. So it looks like they're actually walking Hydra down. So they're actually pushing it down a little bit. It would have to get a good chunk of buys here in to get it going. AUVI. They bought it off the bottom. So there's your little bounce on AUVI. That's for sure. VTNR had this big push, but it was a wiki day, so we'll have to see. It depends on oil. It's a oil ticker. See, they just bought back up Hydra too. So they pushed it down, bought it right back up. So these two are fighting right now for the 845 run. Yeah, you guys have been on VTNR for a while. So this is a good, it's a decent volume candle too on the 1 minute. 173K of green volume. NDM 100 million share repurchase plan. So that's pretty good. Anytime you see share repurchase plan, that means the company basically believes in themselves. And I think it also lowers the float at the same time. But yeah, these are really the top two watches in small cap land. MITQ is just bleeding. Hydra trying to get through 60. It's definitely got some resistance though. And then AUVI has got to get back up to that 135 level. Thanks, Ascendant. I appreciate it. Missed your comment. Thank you. Technoyo Shop, good morning. DTST. Yeah. DTST was yesterday. Yep. The old blow its load in pre-market. That was pretty much the high right there. Yeah, it was the high actually. Pre-market, sold off into open. They tried to get it to bounce. They got it to bounce near highs, and then it just faded. Didn't do anything all day. So now things are selling back down. Hydra. Or Hydra over here. AUVI over here selling back down a little bit. There's some decent bids on Hydra, 55, 56, 57. The asks really aren't stacked, but there's just not a whole lot of volume right now. I think that's the whole issue. Sometimes for short locates it shows an interest rate. It depends on the ticker. Really depends on the ticker overall. So, I mean, maybe that's a harder to borrow stock. CEI. So I just selling back off. AUVI is still trying to push up. Man, look at that. 130 now. Everything in this market is just a trap move. Failed the perfect pattern all the way down to 115. Breakout to Hive Day. And you see it's hitting the scanner now too. So yeah, AVI made the high of day, but just barely went to 137. But that's getting the volume now. It just got 220K on the last 1 minute candle. I just trying to fail down now. But that's what happens. I feel like most of the moves right now aren't perfect. They aren't this perfect push up. Those fail. The perfect pattern, fail, trap, hive day. Makes no sense. But that's the only way things move. So after that, AUVI might get its 150 test. We'll see. 136 to 140 still a big resistance there for the 50 SMA. The program candle, that's something that I really never paid attention to until recently. But it's an algo candle that happens usually right at 8 a.m. that it shows prints down to here, but they're not actually printing. But it's like the algo program setting up. I don't know exactly how it works, but it kind of shows you the direction that SPY might be headed. Agri. So not a crazy amount going on, as expected. But I mean, we got a couple things in play. And yesterday, the things that were in play in pre-market that we talked about had nothing to do with what ran intraday. It could be oil, it could be wheat, it could be BLM, it could be whatever. Yeah, there you go. There's a good explanation by Broda. Put an algo in at brokerage open that is to sell to or buy to the wick, order filling usually, or to complete auctions. So they're telling the computer to sell basically all the way to 402. Anything in mid cap land moving today? SE riding the 9. PPSI a little spike. Yeah, DBGI. Yeah, we were talking about that. That's been a pump for a bit, and it's all the way to 26 cents. But it could get called again. It could pop. Let's see what else. Verb on the scanner. 35-cent stock. That was a good runner back in the day. Yeah, nothing is really doing anything right now. Let's pull up AUVI on the 1. Down to the 9. You guys have any chart questions, any specific questions I can go over since it's slow? Because it is fairly dead this morning. The white dots are just connecting like a line. It's like me clicking on my SMA. They're not supposed to be there. I must have accidentally clicked on it. And this is just the grid white dots. Hold on 1 second. All right. MITQ curling a little bit. It was hitting the scanner. That's the only reason I pulled it up. Yeah, it's just the dots. AVI pushing back up to that 135 level. Really needs to break over that. That's been the struggle point. No candle, not even a 1 minute candle has closed over 135, so you want to see that. But the volume's kind of dying off on it already. It had its 845 run, and that's about it. So SPY never fell off after that. It wouldn't be surprised though if it fills half that program candle down today. It's up 1.4%. That's quite a bit. I feel like every time I've ever seen SPY reverse and be the bottom was just some crazy nonsense level. I don't know if it's the bottom though. We still got some issues for sure. But it's usually just some random day and some random spot. That's how it was back. Gotta go to the weekly. But with COVID, like it fell off, and then just some random day, that was the bottom. Went below the 200 on the weekly, and then just, okay, this is the bottom. Let's go back up now. SPY is made to go up. It'll go down, but it's made to go up. I know. I want a main dog so bad. I just want a good runner. 62%'s good. Yes, and I won't complain about it. But I mean, that 62% was made within like 2 candles. If you miss this first 5-minute candle on Hydra, then you pretty much missed the bulk of the move. And it was probably nothing. That was only, well, 900K volume, but still, all the way from 38 to 58 in one candle. So there's the whole move. And you can't really trade. Trading's a part of the ranges. You're playing within. And when that happens, the whole range happens in one candle, you can't really trade it. CEI is probably up with oil. And it's actually down a cent. But yeah, it's been running with USO. Check. I haven't heard that ticker in forever. Is this? That was an Israeli one, I think. Used to be a great runner. I remember playing this. Ran from 38 cents to 450. But now, I mean, it's in the range of the pennies that have been running. And you got a gap to 60. Really has no reason to run at this very second. But could it run? Absolutely. If we got news, for sure. But I feel like these pennies have been running for no reason. Like the 30-cent stocks, like Pixie the other day, I don't even know if that had news. It was just random. If it did have news, I missed it. Yeah, it did. Actually, it did. So if it had news, absolutely. I mean, it's got the 50 SMA 38. You got your gap fill at 60, 200 at 71. So it's going to need volume, and to get volume, it's going to probably need news or a penny market, which is like a theme, penny theme. Sorry, I keep taking so much water sips. I'm not used to talking this much in the morning. I'll get used to it. We're only on day 2, okay? All right. Okay, 9 a.m. news coming. SRNE has news. SRNE always gets me though on good PRs. They'll come out and say, "Oh, we got this great strategic communication, blah blah blah," and they'll put other companies in there, and then SRNE pops 2 cents and then goes right on the day. LLL pop on a little bit of news. That's the formation of special committee to explore sale of menswear business. I mean, maybe back a couple years ago. Um, I mean, you would get sale of business news for XYZ, and it was great. Like that ran 200% because the company was getting money that they didn't have. But now, I feel like it makes people think that they're going out of business. I just figured I'd start streaming. I want to change it up. I mean, the market's so stagnant, and this way, like we can all kind of communicate what we all see. I can go over charts, help everybody, and just kind of get everybody ready for the open at least, and we can talk back and forth. I mean, we can talk about whatever. I don't care if we talk about football or whatever, but the market's obviously first. I want to go over, like, if it's a crazy day, go over the tickers that are moving. If it's a continuation market, go over the setups for the day and the news, and then underneath that we can go over questions. But if we run out of everything, I don't care what we talk about. I'm just here to hang out with you guys. So nothing crazy. SPCB, the one that faked us out about a month or 2 ago, had a new contract for electronic monitoring. So, not really a huge deal, in my opinion. But I feel like lately, the not a huge deal PRs explode. No PR, explode. Great PR, no. We'll trade 200 million volume, trade sideways all day. No range. So there's that. AUVI was literally the trap, the pop, and the fade. So that looks absolutely horrendous now. Just heard SPCB get a tap. Wow. That's why it's only 38 cents. You could tap 100 shares and it would hit the scanner. So our top gainer for the day now looks like this. That's fantastic. Robinhood. Well, actually, Robinhood opens early now. I can't blame it on Robinhood. 9 a.m. did not like Hydra. So Oilers, yeah, definitely keep on watch today. Look at that daily on oil, man. That just looks like it's going to go parabolic to 100 on USO. So Indo, HUSA, ENSV, CEI. There's more, but the USEG, not really. See, that's kind of going down the ladder. Indo, HUSA is definitely the top two. VTNR. Appreciate all you in here this morning, though. I mean, slow morning, but we're going over what we see. Hopefully you learned something. Maybe you'll even learn the difference between a good headline and a bad headline, or what I think is a good headline and a bad headline. And that'll be something you take from the day and you learn something. So that's great. Appreciate you guys showing up. ICT. So that one ran the other day, I think, right? Yeah, so this daily, I mean, it's had a huge wick, but it does have range. That could go with some volume, MICT. It just got a tap, that's why I pulled it up. So Hydra looks bad. AUVI's on the 20, it looks bad though. PPSI. Yeah, the chart, I mean, that's not the most beautiful chart, and it almost looks like it has program candles itself. That may just be TradeStation. But it does. I mean, it has decent, and it's in the middle of the range. So if it pops out of here, it could test 420 again. And the daily, I mean, look how much it's sold off. The daily, you've got resistance near 4, which is where it's at right now. And then you've got resistance, which was previous support, like 490, and that just happens to be where the 50's at. So if it decides to start breaking out, look for the 475 to $5 range. But it would have to, just like everything else, get great volume. And great volume is just hard to come by. You know, I would love to know what the full port right now. And Michael, yeah, I do short sometimes. I have to get it approved for the small caps, and it doesn't approve me very often. But large caps, yeah, I'll try to do that or puts. Can anything look good for us into open today? PPSI definitely in the watch list though. AUVI still here, but it looks bad now. Hydra could get an opening bounce maybe off the 20 on the 5, which happens to be the bottom here, so around 51 cents. So watch for that level on Hydra. But yeah, this is definitely not what you want to see on AUVI. Yeah, AC, no problem, man. I appreciate it. This episode clearly sponsored by Michael Scott of The Office, not Steve Carell, Michael Scott, with my Dunder Mifflin shirt. And clearly, I'm just kidding. Hey, Lexmi. Good morning. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm sorry if I butcher anyone's name. Try my best here. Okay. This is what I got for the large cap gainers. That's the biggest large cap gainer is ONON, 14%. MXC is not a large cap. I must just have it set for a price range. And MXC is just a super, super low float oiler. So that's why that's up. So oil, it doesn't get a whole lot of volume till open, but it's trying to fall here. So oil's going down, AUVI is going down, IDR's trading sideways. Overall, I think that SPY does have a little more downside. We're not just going to go straight back up. Will it be catastrophic like everybody in the news and all of Finchwitz saying? Probably not. It's going to bounce when everybody least expects it. And then people will be saying, okay, let's go back short, let's go back short, let's go back short. And they're going to start getting squeezed. So, but I don't think we're quite to the bottom yet. But I think bottom end would be 350. That's my guess. Yeah, exactly what you just said. Looking at the chart, bottom end, probably 350. And I think that's the weekly. Yeah, that's the weekly 200 too, which is what it usually likes to hold in like death spirals. Anything else on the gainer list? Man, there was a time I thought FRSX was the future. Really thought that autonomous vehicle thing was going to be it, and it was going to take off, and it never did. Had a great run, but then just faded right back off with everything else. Ooh, LLL's got an ugly daily. That's probably why it's up a little bit. I heard hour hit the scanner. I don't know why. Super low volume. That daily is just gross. One day it's either going to just para or death. It can't just keep wicking around here. PTE. Oh, that one's down. Oh my gosh, that was the runner from yesterday. No, not yesterday. Was that Friday? Yeah, and it's just faded. It's all the way back to where it started. Sad to see some of these charts that used to be great. Where's Netflix at now? That's insane. 700 to a low of 160. But, I mean, it makes sense, and a lot of people didn't think about it, but I think the market share of Netflix really is getting taken away. They used to be the premier place because they had all the TV shows. Like they have Family Guy, they had The Office. But now Peacock exists for The Office. Family Guy moved over to Hulu, and then you got HBO Max. You got so much competition now that they're just not the monopoly of streaming anymore. So much competition. And now I feel like Netflix has almost got like a negative feeling to it now because they're only doing their studio stuff, which 1 out of 10 movies or shows are fantastic, but then the other side is not so good. So, wow, I'm gonna have to get that camera, that USB camera. The camera's already flashing, so it literally lasts a little over an hour. It looks like. Probably pick that up soon. The 9, I think it was 920 Logitech, and I gotta get a mic too. I'll get the mic, and then I'll get the camera, and we'll be a little bit more professional. Work on some nice transitions or thumbnails for the beginning, but we're just starting. Yeah, Broda, I agree, man. I don't think yearly lows are quite in yet. This is the Euphoria little bounce here. Yeah, man, I want to make this part of my routine and hopefully everybody's routine that's watching. And the further I go along, the more professional I want it to be. I always want to be stepping forward, not backwards. And no matter what I do. So we got 69 viewers right now. Let's keep it at that for the rest of the stream. 69. Keep it a nice even, not so even number. But you guys think this is helping out? I mean, even we've got no gainers. We've got SPY just trading sideways. But hopefully what I'm doing is at least one, entertaining, giving you something to do in the morning, and two, helping out. So that's my only goal here. But we got about 5 minutes left. Anything else? We plan that out. Noah's birthday is 6/9. Very, very careful planning. That's about like the sample size of the Twitter bots, Boba. Sample size 1. I say yes. That's the public. I love it. Twitter bots have got to be like 30-40%. Has to be. I've got 20 bots of my own account, let alone people with millions and millions of followers. I saw something where they said they ran a check on the White House Twitter, or Biden's Twitter, and it was like 49% bots that follow him. So 10 million bots follow the White House account. That's crazy. I don't know how true that is, but that is what I read on the interwebs. All right, one last pass through here. Hydra. Okay, it's coming down to this level for open. And remember yesterday I was talking about if it looks worse for open, that's honestly better for an opening run. So potentially watch this one. It could just fade back down to 40. Who knows? But keep it on watch. AUVI. More BS. But it's off the 20 again. And that's about it. It's really about it. Watch for the market to maybe pop and fade today. And then go down to 404 at least. ABEO. What's that? 20-cent stock with a tap. It's funny how they tap these small ones in pre-market just to get them to hit the scanner, get people to pull them up. So PPSI, not the prettiest, but it's an opening flag. AUVI bounced off the 20, and then Hydra is setting up for that ugly, open, potentially push up. So that's really what I'm seeing. And then always, I keep oil up today. Watch that to push higher, and wheat. And wheat kind of looks like it's got a program candle too. Everything's going to be controlled by algos. But 130, 135 is the level for AUVI, I think. Anything else you guys want to look at before we go? Got a couple more minutes before we pop off. ISUN. Just a tap. So AVI back over 130 again. So I feel like this one's going to be whipsaw today. By the way, in pre-market action is. Got up to here, fade, new high of day, fade. And it's holding the 20 EMA. So, I mean, it is holding the bottom, but wow. It's got, the range is getting ridiculous. It's going to go all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom, over and over and over again. Hopefully tomorrow we get something better to talk about. Good runner. But I guess I'm going to end it there. Nothing's really happening. Watch AUVI and everything else I mentioned. And I appreciate you guys showing up today. Thanks for all the likes. And I'll see you tomorrow.